years to the 2027 general elections, and a lot is at stake. Nigeria are calling for opposition, and one of the things that is majorly on the minds of Nigerians is the fact that can we have a viable opposition? Remember, at the early stage of this year, there were insinuations whether a different political party will come on board to see where things will go in 2027. But of course, the political heavyweights in the different political parties came together. At the time, they wanted to form a political party called ADA. They said ADA. And some says, okay, we are actually just going to adopt a political party, whether it's the SDP or whether it's the ADC, but eventually, sometimes in the middle of the year, I think March to be precisely, ADC was adopted by the political heavyweights in the different political parties, from PDP to SDP, and of course to the APC in the ruling party. They also came together to form that particular party, adopted the ADC. But there are so many conversations. Is ADC really in desperate to get the power from the ruling party, or they are actually in for the Nigerian people? This is Speak Your Truth. My name is Ademola Lawrence. And of course, to help us, dissect all of these insinuations and rumors, and of course, what it is about the ADC, I have the National Publicity Secretary of the ADC. He was also a one-time, APC member, a one-time PDP member, now in ADC. Bolaji Abdullahi, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Lawrence.
So, a lot to talk about. Sometimes in early this year, like I said in my intro, it was looking like it was going to be a one-party state.
Yes.
But of course, Nigerians were also clamoring for different oppositions to be able to stamp their ground. It was looking like PDP wasn't going to do that at the time because of the issues that were going on in PDP. SDP also had their issues. As a matter of fact, the issue of SDP started when the former governor of Kaduna went into SDP and adopted SDP as his own party, and they started having issues. 4 factions emerged as a result of him going to that party. Then you have the Labour Party, where Peter Obi is, of course, the presidential candidate in 2023, and there were a lot of issues. As a matter of fact, now have 3 factions in that political party. You have the Aburis, you have the Arab Bambis of this world, and you understand. Then Nenadi Usman also as a faction. But now we have ADC, a coalition of politicians coming together to adopt ADC. ADC has been there for such a long time. But this is a question for you. What exactly is driving the ADC, or what exactly is driving the politicians who have chosen to adopt ADC as the vehicle to 2027?
Largely patriotism and the love of democracy. I will agree with you that in a congregation, whether it's a Muslim congregation or a Christian congregation, you find 100 people in a church or a mosque. People will be there for different reasons. There are some who will be there because they want to worship God. There are some that will be there because they are looking for money, some because they are looking for a husband or wife, as the case may be. So there will be people who are in the coalition for different reasons. But largely what I can tell you is that predominantly what has driven us into ADC is the desire to save Nigeria's democracy. Because like you yourself have pointed out, earlier in the year, it was looking like there was not going to be alternative to APC come 2027. And anyone who had seen who was aware of the battle and the sacrifices that people made for Nigeria's democracy will know that that was going to be a calamity and a disservice to the sacrifices of the heroes that brought us this far. So the PDP was already like in crisis to that's an understatement, actually, to say the PDP was in crisis. Labour Party the same, SDP the same. Almost all the parties that look like potential challenger for power in 2027 were in crisis mode. So at that point, it became clear that something had to happen, and that was why when the conversation about forming a coalition started, that had to be a synthesis of these various opposition elements to come together, and then the talk around the coalition started. Then the question of, okay, what is the way forward? Should we register a new party? Should we adopt an existing party? So we did all that work, and in the end, we concluded that ADC looked like the most viable vehicle for us going forward, and that was why ADC was.
So let's even explore the crisis that you said are in these different political parties.
Yes.
PDP, for example, you have the likes of Nyesom Wike,
Yes.
who, of course, is looking like he's holding the balls. Let me use that word. Permit me to use the word. He was holding the balls for PDP. Does it look like PDP could not be able to hold Nyesom Wike? Or is it that Nyesom Wike is bigger than PDP? Because the crisis seems to be falling by just one person.
I don't like Nyesom Wike's politics, so I'm not defending him.
Why don't you like his
What
politics?
What I can tell you is that all the people castigating Nyesom Wike will have to ask themselves that if they, at the point that in between elections, many people go into an election, then after the election period, they switch off and they leave the party are in limbo until the next electoral cycle. But Wike saw an opportunity there, and he decided at that point to take over the party and continue to support the party, and that gave him that leverage that he had or he still has within the PDP.
Yeah.
Right? So at the time that all the other politicians recovered from their holidays and came back to say, now we want our party back, Wike already had the jugular in his hands. And that was why it was possible. Because the question you're asking me is that why did it look like they were incapable of dealing with him?
Yes.
They created a Wike with their own abdication.
Okay.
They created the space for him to take over the power. So you can't abandon your home willfully, then come back and find someone there already settled that was maintaining the roof and taking care of the floor and everything. And you come back, you say, oh, why, okay, the house, So he will ask you questions. So Wike is in control of PDP. I'm not in that party anymore. I don't know what dynamics will play out in the coming days or weeks. They are making some movement now, trying to.
They already zoned to the south in 2027.
You see, when that news broke yesterday that they zoned, it's part of the desperate move that they had because
when
I'm
sorry, when you say it's part of the desperate move that they have, maybe not in the constitution, but there's this gentleman agreement, between the north and the south.
Okay, why did I say that? Why did I say it's a desperate move? You'll have asked me why did I say it's a
desperate move?
I said it's a desperate move because I know that PDP, even in its comatose state, still have so many experienced politicians.
Okay.
So when 2 years to an election, PDP comes out to say we are zoning to the south, 2 years to an election, then you should ask yourself why. They're not being stupid. They know what they are doing. They know their party is already prostrate. So they needed something that could energize or re-energize the party and give it a kind of bounce, And so it's strategic for them to say, oh, we are zoning to the south because that was the condition. The people they are approaching, because they are moving around now, it's like they don't have a potential presidential candidate in real terms. So the people they are approaching are giving them that condition. So if you want us to come, then zone to the south, right? So it is them just trying to bring their party back, but they still have the Wike problem. So we're not. You can see nobody really is taking it seriously,
But I thought when you were in PDP and the other guys were in PDP, you guys took him seriously. That's why you left the party.
No, I said nobody's really taking this decision that they made
Okay.
about zoning to the
to
south. Nobody's really, because it has not changed anything, right? They still had not had their convention. You see, it's just a group of people. So because even when you talk about PDP, people will still ask you, which PDP are you talking about? Is it Wike's PDP or Bala's PDP? Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So which PDP? So that's why I said they've not solved any problem, because the real problem they have is still there, which is some Wike, and whether they will be able to hold their, But I'm talking about PDP. Why are you asking me about PDP?
No. We just we just diverted to that. We just diverted to that. But let's go back to ADC. And this question just popped up in my head. El-Rufai, Peter Obi, joining ADC. Then your own principal, which is the former vice president, while you were with him. When I mean your own principal, some persons will say, okay.
Who is that? Can you mention the name? So that will be clear what you're talking about.
Former vice president.
Who?
Former Atiku Abubakar. Yeah.
He's not my principal. I never worked with him.
Some persons say, because you're in his camp.
I'm not in anybody's camp.
Okay, so it's even good that you're clearing the hair, But the former vice president, and some person says, is it out of conviction that, or simply desperation or for relevance? Which of them do you think is playing out in their own case now?
You said conviction.
Yes.
Desperation.
Desperation or relevance.
Yes. It could be all.
Explain to me why you said so.
Convictions mean that they believe in something. They believe in this country, and they believe that things should be done differently. They are convinced that things could be done differently.
Okay.
And every Nigerian will agree with you, having seen what we've seen in the last 2 years, that things could be done differently. Desperation, of course. Out of conviction, you can become desperate to say, look, you can't do it. It's like a surgeon who sees someone, a surgeon who is locked up in a cage, and he sees a quack doctor bring out a knife to conduct a surgery, to carry out a surgery.
Yeah.
He will be screaming and kicking even where you locked him up. Yeah. He's desperate to come out to be the one to save the patient. Yeah. So it could be that they are desperate too to save this country. Because this is a country that has given, these people you've mentioned, the country has given them so much. Nigeria has given them so much. And to see the country go down the drains, I mean, they must be desperate. I will be surprised if they are not desperate to save the country.
Okay, so let's even now break it down. When you say they are desperate to bring change to the country, that's what you're implying.
Yeah.
Okay, let's even now take on these individuals. For example, El-Rufai.
Yeah.
He was governor. First of all, he was FCT minister. Yeah. Of course, nobody can doubt what he did while he was FCT minister. No problem with that. Mm-hmm. But he was governor for Kaduna State for 8 years.
Yes.
And in that 8 years, it's not that there were insinuations. There were times that, the southern Kaduna under his
I'm not going to hold brief for anybody.
No, I'm not holding brief for.
No, I'm saying that.
I'm not saying you're holding brief for.
I'm not going to start defending anybody's tenure.
I'm not saying you're holding brief for anybody. I'm just saying that let's look at the political value of each of these people.
Yes.
And what they bring to the table.
Yeah.
Because, the table is where everybody has to come. Yeah. Then you look at some of his antecedents and how he was able to portray himself. Mm-hmm. Do you think that kind of a person during his tenure, as where Southern Kaduna was always fighting, do you think that kind of a person, sorry, sir, do you think that kind of a person is actually looking for relevance to change or for relevance to survive? Do you think so? In a political arena?
Whatever you are asking me, what is someone's motive? How do you ever know someone's motive? motive. If I'm beginning to tell you now, oh, this is why, oh, this is why, then how you ask me, how do you know that?
Okay.
Right? So I'm not going to start talking about anybody's motive. What I will talk about is what people have committed to do, right? And what they have committed themselves to do is to be part of something that is bigger than themselves and work together with other people who think the same way and say, look, regardless of what must have happened in the past, this is an opportunity. And I'm telling you, I'm in the room where people are telling themselves, this is our last chance. This is our last chance to redeem ourselves as a political class. Because Nigerians have lost faith in us. Nigerians don't believe in us anymore. So this is our last chance. So when people come together under the
Because
coalition,
politicians are full of rhetorics.
it's not just rhetorics. Look, you alluded to something earlier. We were here in 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
And we brought the message of change. We said we're going to Nigeria change Dole, right? Nigeria say Baba, change Dole, right? I was one of the people that was going about preaching change at the time, right? The people who listened to us in 2014, 2015 and listen to me now will say, oh, but you said you were going to change Nigeria in 2014. What has happened? So what I'm saying is that the biggest challenge that we have as a political class is not even as opposition party now, it's not even APC. It's the cynicism of Nigerians. Based on experience, Nigerians have become so cynical based on what they have seen, based on how many times politicians have told them things and failed to deliver. So Nigerians have become cynical, especially young people. So it is difficult for someone like me to talk to them and say, look, we mean well. We are genuine. Because they said, look, we've had all this before. But even for me, I had to convince myself, why am I doing this? Right? So in the end, we have to tell ourselves that the task of nation building is never done. Yeah. And as long as the task of nation building is never done, we will continue to try. We'll continue to make efforts. We'll continue to... It's possible for young people in this country today to crowd us out if we are not doing the right thing. Yeah. And that is why you see ADC is saying, let everybody come in. Let all the young people come in. Let us create an opportunity for young people to take over. So,
Mr. Bolaji,
so that's why I say we should not detain ourselves about, oh, this person was this person was this.
But you know, there's not how we are going to be able to, take those facts out.
No, I'm not asking you to take them out.
Yeah, but because even if you are coming to me to preach about something, you must be, aside from you being convinced about this thing, I must be able to look at your past.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
So it's the past that the Nigerians are looking and saying, okay, these guys that are coming to us.
What about looking forward as well? For how long will we... You see, the question is this. When you look at, is it possible for you to find a politician in this country today that is recognized as a politician who has not held one position or the other in the past? Is it possible for you to find a politician in this country today that is called a politician that's not been into party A or party B before? So if this is the political class that we have, what can we do to make them function for us? We're not going to manufacture a new politician, new set of politicians overnight. You are here. Are you a member of a political party? Are you a politician?
Journalist.
But are you a politician?
I'm a journalist.
You are not. You are not a politician.
Yes,
So politics will be played by politicians.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as long as politics will be played by politicians, it's the same political class that you have that are still active today that will play politics. The question, however, is whether we can set a new rule, whether we can set new standards for ourselves to say, look, this thing can be done differently. Because as you see so many people who have given politics a bad name, I'm also telling you there are so many politicians who are desperate to give politics a good name, who know that things can be done differently.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this question, and it has to do with, whether ADC was set up for the actualization. You can take this.
No, it's okay.
Okay. Whether ADC was set up for the actualization of the dream of Atiku Abubakar to become president.
No, not at all.
You ask me why, and I'll give you reasons. Because the the obedience movement are already shouting that no, it has to be the party has to be zoned to the south.
It's within their right to say that.
But the party is also saying, oh, come, we want to play on a level playing ground. I mean,
we say we're not having that conversation now. That's what we said. I'm the one who said it.
Okay. If you say you are not having the conversation now, how do Nigerians now believe that, okay, come close to 2027, whatever conversation you want to have should be believable?
Is there a deadline to taking a decision about that?
There is none, but at the same time, you must be able to give us, something to be hopeful for. You must.
What we are giving you that you'll be hopeful for is that we'll give you a candidate that will win an election. That's what we owe Nigerians. That's what we owe ourselves. The internal dynamics of how we go about it is nobody's business if you are not a member of our party. It's party members that you'll be worried that, it's going to hurt us if we don't announce now.
No, Mr. Bolaji, I disagree with you.
Okay, tell me.
Why I disagree with you? Why you say it's only party members that should be angry.
That should be worried.
That should be worried. And about how you play that politics.
Yeah.
Now, it's not about party members because the larger percent of the people who are going to be affected by your decisions are Nigerians.
And that's what I'm saying. Don't you understand? By the time we do our decision, then Nigerians can decide to follow us, not to follow us. Don't you see? Okay. They can decide to accept us, not to accept us. But the decision of how we go about it is our decision.
Yeah.
So we are saying that we have other priorities now. Our party was announced on July 2nd. It's not even up to 2 months. We have a duty to build this party. Everybody will go down to their states and build structures and mobilize people to register in ADC. That's our priority now. Will you agree with me that the issue of zoning, the issue of who will be the presidential candidate, they are volatile decisions that are likely to distract us from that important assignment. Yeah. So we are saying that it's strategic for us, since there is no urgency for us to take that decision now, it's strategic for us to focus on what is really important to the party at this time. So we're not going to be stampeded by APC saying they've crowned President Bola Tinubu, PDP saying they have zoned their... That is their own priority. It is the priority of PDP to make that pronouncement because they need it to survive. We don't need that pronouncement now to survive. Can't you see?
Are you sure you really don't need that pronouncement?
No. You know our priority now is to convince Nigerians that we truly represent alternative and by getting people to register in our party. As I'm talking to you now, I ought to be in Kwara mobilizing. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we can't distract ourselves with who's going to be...
You know why I said so? Yeah. Because if you look at the last by-election, let's even take the last by-election for example. You have the likes of... Malam Nasser El-Rufai, I'll go back to him again.
Yes.
Funniest part is that it looks like he's still a member of the SDP.
Yes.
And still in the coalition, which is, of course, ADC. There's no coalition again, as far as I'm concerned. I think it's ADC.
There's coalition, there's ADC.
So help us put this into perspective. Because if you say there's coalition, there's ADC.
Yeah.
What is the coalition still doing when the coalition already adopted ADC? Before I now even go into that.
I'll explain to you.
Okay.
The coalition came together. It's a group of politicians who came together and adopted ADC. Do you understand what I'm saying? There are so many people in the coalition today who are not even members of ADC, who still remain in their parties. But they are convinced that this is the way to go. And you will see so many of them come out when it's close to election.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? You will be shocked the kind of people that are in the coalition, but who are not in ADC. By the time they come out, you will see.
Are there people from this particular government as well?
Oh, of course. So many.
In this current government administration?
So many.
They are not happy with what is happening in the administration.
Of course, because they are also alienated even as part of the government. They also feel alienated.
And they are part of this government.
Happy. Oh, I'm telling you. So what I'm saying, that's why I said the coalition is bigger. The coalition is a movement. ADC is just what you see. So that is one side of it. Two, you mentioned the particular case of Malam Nasir. Malam Nasiru asked for permission before to allow, because they've already started the process of the by-election before we announced the movement to ADC.
Okay.
So he asked for permission to allow for the coalition to allow him to complete the process of that election, since it's not we will not be able to change those candidates to ADC at the time that we are making that decision.
Okay.
So the same thing applies to Peter Obi in the case of Anambra. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we say, okay, you can go ahead, do that, and as long as those elections were done, then you can come. They actually asked for leave, for them to complete that process. Because at that point, your candidates have already, don't you understand? Okay. Let me try to explain. Your candidates had already obtained forms on the platform of Labour Party.
Okay.
Or on the platform of SDP. Okay. Those are your candidates.
Okay.
Right? By the time that you are part of the coalition, so at the time that the coalition is moving to ADC, it's too late for you to change them to ADC candidates.
Okay.
So you have to support them in those your original party. Do you get what I'm saying?
I'm listening.
So that was what happened. And PDP and ADC, at that point, ADC was not in a position to field candidates for most of the positions in the by-election. So in many of those places, we don't even have candidates in the by-election. So that was what happened.
So are you now saying that eventually, if those people win their election, are they going to convert back to ADC?
Oh, yeah. That's the understanding.
Oh.
That's the understanding.
So they'll convert back to ADC?
That's the understanding.
Okay. But eventually it didn't happen.
Many of them didn't win. So.
Yeah, eventually it didn't happen. So I'm also trying to understand why this. I understand the part where you have to, because they were already in this particular political party and all of these things, so you have to give them concession to do
concession. I like
concession to do that. But for so many Nigerians, it doesn't look like that.
How does it look?
It looks like they are not convinced about what they want, because that's what he painted.
No, that's what. Yeah,
that's what he painted. If you are not giving this explanation to me,
I know, but that's the impression you could read because you don't have information. Yeah. I know that. But what we are saying is that for us, ultimately, what matters is what people do.
Okay.
And if Nasiru El-Rufai or Peter Obi did not have this conversation, I think we should commend them for being gentlemen to say, look, guys, I'm with you. I'm convinced about this. However, I have people following me who may be affected. So a good leader must think of people following him, regardless of what you think you want to do. You have to think about how your action affects the people who are following you. So in the end, the kids, look, guys, I have people following me who want to contest by-elections on the platform of this party.
Okay.
Right? If I ask them to move now, it's going to affect what they have done. Can you allow me? And if I don't support them, if I don't campaign for them, it's going to affect them. So let me stay with them. When we complete that process, then we'll come. I think it's only fair enough.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this question. They're a bit politically personal.
Okay.
I use the word politically personal. What's your relationship like with your former principal? I'm talking about former Senate President.
Dr.
Yes.
Yeah, good.
When you say good, because there's been a lot of insinuations. Whether are you people still together? Are you not? Is your political ideology not in sync anymore? Because if he's still in PDP, and you are out of PDP to go to ADC, you are in ADC already. Are you guys not in sync? Is there anything?
I think that is obvious. I mean, you asked me if we are good. I was talking in personal terms.
Okay.
But in political terms, of course, he's in PDP, I'm in ADC. I believe something different now. And he's still in PDP. So, politically speaking, we don't belong to the same camp anymore.
And politically speaking, you guys don't have a crack in terms of how things go.
I don't know what you mean by crack.
I mean that...
I said I have a different understanding of the kind of politics I want to play.
Okay.
From his own.
So
he's in PDP and he has his convictions about PDP. I have my convictions. I left PDP last October, even before the issue of the coalition came.
Okay.
Right? So I had my own convictions of the kind of politics I want to play going forward. That does not mean that there's a fight or quarrel or anything. It's just that we just have to play different kind of politics.
What do you place, value or loyalty in politics?
It depends on what you mean by both, because loyalty is a form of value. It's also about what you believe in. Let me tell you something. When we started out in 2003, I was 34. 34. I was deputy editor with these day newspapers when I left and to join him in government in 2003. Today I'm 56 and a grandfather. So if we're together for 20 years, that's 20 solid years, right? And I think it's time that someone who is already a grandfather to think of the kind of politics, to be able to decide the kind of politics he wants to play. That does not mean that even if I had a son that's 56 years old, right? I should be able to start respecting him. That he's also his own man. People will start looking at me like something is wrong with this old man. So it doesn't mean there's a quarrel or anything. It's just that we have to play different kind of politics.
I have to give it to you anyway. I think you didn't play to the gutters in terms of there's some politicians who play to the gutters, and I'm going to go there.
No.
And in terms of politicians playing to the gutters, for example, that's why I said it's a bit personal. What's your take? And that's why I asked this question: value and loyalty. You have one of your members who is a loyal member, who was a former loyal member of APC, and that is Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola. As a matter of fact, some persons have said that, for you to want to speak to the current president, as at when they were together, you have to speak. Everybody has to have the ear of Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola. I know you are not speaking for the person, but if you look at it, how do you view when somebody who is at a time has your ear, and all of a sudden, it looks like the both of you are sworn enemies?
You see, loyalty is a two-way traffic. And it takes two to tango. The reason I've left PDP in October, and there are people who even tell you that I'm here in ADC as a surrogate of Dr. Saraki. Because they don't see any problem between us, outward problem between us. It's also the way he has handled it and the way I've handled it. He has gone out and trying to castigate me and get people to castigate me. I'll probably have responded, and maybe some of my own people will have responded. Then Nigerians will have known that these people, there is something, right? But he has maintained a dignified position. Regardless of what you think about me going to ADC, I have maintained a dignified position regardless of my thinking about him remaining in PDP. So because there is that mutual respect still, right? So for me, I don't think we should transpose other people's relationship into mine. I don't know their realities. Like your program says, I don't know their truth. Right? So I cannot speak to that. I can only speak to mine. And you see, when I was minister, was federal minister of sports at the time, when Dr. Saraki left for APC, 2014. There was this event in Kwara where I was expected to speak as this most senior political office holder from Kwara State. I was expected to speak and condemn. Everybody that was mounting the stage was condemning Saraki and all that. So they expected that me as a most senior member of government from on that stage should also climb. And I said, no, I'm not going to condemn Saraki. Saraki has not done anything for me. He's been my benefactor. So he hasn't done anything for me, and I'm not going to fight anybody's fight for them. If Dr. Saraki had asked me to condemn President Jonathan at the time, I would have said no, right? Shortly afterwards, I was sacked, and no problem, right? It's a price I paid for loyalty. At the time I was taking that decision, I knew the consequence of what I was doing. But I knew that also, that if you stand for something, you should be willing to pay for it, to pay the price for it. So I think as far as loyalty is concerned, I'm one of the people in this country that can say I paid the price for loyalty, right? So but when we arrive at the point that we have arrived today, I think that what you see as the civility, I think the credit should go to both sides.
So I'm going to ask you this. You look at the politicians involved in this coalition, and you look at what they have said about each other. You said we should not talk about the past, but unfortunately...
No, I'm not saying you should not talk about it. I'm a historian, so...
Okay, so you look at what they have said about each other in the past. For example, El-Rufai had said that, Peter Obi in 2020, going to 2023 election, that Peter Obi can never win an election, that was then. But the two of them are on both camp now. So do you think that this coalition is more of a convenience than having to get the real substance for the Nigerian people? Do you think it's more of a convenience than having to have...
For some people, it will be convenience. For some people, it may be convenience. They are no longer happy where they are. Now this coalition has happened. Now this is an opportunity. For some people, it's like, I don't like President Bolaji because he has offended me. So this is an opportunity to get back. Some people, it's like, I don't like the way President Bolaji has...
Do you think that's the case for the coalition?
No, I'm talking about... I told you earlier that different people may have different motives. But in the end, what matters is that we are all agreeing on one thing, which is that the country is not going in the right direction, which is that our democracy was being reduced to a one-party state.
What the president said in his state... I remember when the president went to the National Assembly, he said that he will never be one of those who would allow a one-party state. I remember...
Then shortly after that, what did he say? I will remind you what he said. He said, I will not allow one party state, but I'm enjoying their confusion. Yeah. I'm not going to help them to put their ass together. Yes. So I'm enjoying their confusion.
But he won't allow, he won't.
Okay, now.
He won't.
If I were advising the president, this is what I would have asked him to say. The president would have said, our democracy is better in a multi-party environment. We are not happy what is happening with the opposition. We encourage them to put their acts together. We're not going to do it for them. But we should all realize that the idea or the notion of a one-party state is not good for our democracy. We encourage opposition to put their acts together because the more parties we have, the better for, even if he doesn't believe it. What do you think his rating will be? What do you think? As a media person, as a media person, what do you think will happen to his rating, his political rating, if he had said that?
So if you're asking me as a media person,
yes,
what would have happened is that, you would say his rating would have gone up.
Yeah.
But in the real sense of politics, that will not play. No, because even the ADC,
he wasn't at a political rally. He was in the National Assembly.
We are saying, let's speak the truth.
Yes, he was in the National Assembly.
Let's both speak our truth.
Yes.
Let's both speak our truth.
Yeah.
Even if ADC was in that position, you would say the same thing.
You are speculating now.
Okay. Because your track record of always attacking... I'm saying that your track record of always attacking the issues...
My track record?
No, I'm saying the ADC now. The track record of always attacking the person and not the issues.
Attacking the persons
and not the issues.
How? When did you come to that?
There's always that...
Can you give me examples of where we've attacked the person, not the issues?
For example,
yes.
I remember when I think it was when... the president went to, was it Lucia?
St. Lucia.
Yeah, St. Lucia.
So what did we say?
And I think it was from your camp, and somebody said, what is the essence of President Bolaji going to...
So how is that a personal attack?
But it's a personal attack.
The president of Nigeria went to a country that is less than of our local government for how many days, and we don't even know what he was doing there. And is it possible for you to have President Trump disappear for so many days and you don't know go to? So we are saying that what is our president doing there? How is that a personal attack? You did not say, oh, he's doing this. You did not criticize him personally. You see, some of these things. You see, the problem with this government, and I don't know if you are affiliated to them, is that they have become.
I'm not affiliated.
Okay, yeah. They have become so. They have become so thin-skinned. They have become so thin-skinned that even the most innocuous criticism is taken badly. Okay, for example, the president was in Brazil yesterday, and you heard him say to the Brazilians that there is no more corruption in Nigeria. So if we criticize that, you say we are calling the president a liar. You understand what I'm saying? That Nigeria is now fit for business. That free repatriation and entry of profit. And where's the Nigerian rating in the ease of doing business ranking? So these are the questions. You see, they are making our job easy. We are opposition political parties. We should take them to task. But when if the president had said the kind of thing that I just mentioned now, we would have said, okay, you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
But they are actually making our job easy with the kind of thing they are. Okay, yesterday they said the Japanese government had decided to give special visa concession to Nigerians. Then a few hours later, the Japanese said, no, we didn't say so. So come on, Lawrence. Come on. For how long will Nigeria continue to be embarrassed like this? For how long? So that's what we're saying, that let them get their acts together. We just want him to be president of Nigeria.
And I'm going to ask you this one more question and we just close. Do you think that President Tinubu took the right decision and subsidy and floating of the Naira majorly in the economy? Do you think so?
What you mean right decision? Were they necessary decision? Some will argue that it was a necessary decision.
No, I'm asking you personally.
Personally, I think it was wrong, especially the timing. You see, I have a graduate degree in development, and I know that your good intentions are not enough. It's how your actions, your policies affect the people. It's a consequence, the outcome of your action that matter, not your intentions. The president might have come in thinking that, oh, this subsidy has become a problem to Nigeria. I have to take advantage of my honeymoon period, which starts today and will soon close, to take this tough decision. He didn't give himself enough time to think. This is about the only thing that Nigerians enjoy, this subsidy, right? If we take it out now and we're not giving them anything in return, how is it going to hurt them? The president didn't think of that. They talk of applying a shock to the system. But like I said, they ended up electrocuting Nigerians with their actions. So you see the World Bank, IMF clapping for them, right? But will Nigerians clap for them? Can you go to a Wuse market today and tell the people, the woman that is struggling to buy a slice of yam, that the policy of President Tinubu has been good, the economy is stable? You can't. I bet you can't. So people are suffering in a way that is almost unimaginable. So regardless of the intentions behind what you have done, the consequence at the end of the day is what matters. And Nigerians will judge you by the consequences of your action, right? So the report card, when come 2027, we will judge APC by the report card of this government. They will have to earn it. That's the point we are making.
Okay. Just to put it in context, proper context, I remember that in 2020, leading to 2023 elections, almost all the political candidates, presidential candidates rather, said they were going to remove the subsidy. Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, I think it was only Kwankwaso who said he wasn't going to remove the subsidy, So whether the decision is right or wrong, one thing is very certain. Nigerians are feeling the heat, Nigerians are feeling the heat. And the government said they're doing all they can, to make sure that things are going on well. But according to Nigerians, rather, these things are probably not the way it should be. And the opposition has also taken advantage of, whether we like it or not, the opposition are taking advantage. Like you said, they're giving you something to talk about. And those are the things that you're talking about. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. I thank you for speaking your truth, most especially when it has to do with former Senate President Bukola Saraki, because there were those insinuations that the both of you were not on the same car. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my pleasure.
So that's all we can take for this episode of Speak Your Truth. 7 p.m. is, of course, the time to show. Just watch on all our platforms, Instagram, YouTube, and, of course, on Facebook. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.